The Optimized Minimal Effort Gym Rerun Guide. About a year ago, my friend General, who was my editor at the time, and I planned on making the transition to YouTube, and wanted to get multiple fully edited videos out there with a very high level of work, and planned on having 10 videos set aside before publishing, only for others to make modifications to my initial strategy and release it as their own. I was very public with my gym rerun strategy, wanting to help others on stream, and before I knew it, many people ended up releasing multiple similar methods that were almost identical to my own, and we chose to give up before we even started, and not release any of our videos. After all, most of our reason was to put information out there, and our ends were already achieved, albeit through others. We all do it to some extent. I didn't come up with the payday ditto strategy, and still chose to release that video, so I'm guilty of it too. And it's wrong to be mad about it. My main concern with releasing this video, and the reason I'm talking about this, is there are now proven, more efficient methods. My best friend Enzo, being the cutie he is, has already improved my method in his own way, even choosing to credit me like the good boy he is. So I thought my method was without merit, and I didn't want to set everyone back like the Breloom Ditto catching guide ended up doing. Before choosing to invest into my gym rerun team, you should consider the following. Do I plan on actively paying attention to each battle? If this is the case, please use my friend Enzo's guide in the description below. For everyone else who plans on sniping on the GTL or watching Twitch and YouTube mindlessly, I can still recommend my guide. It was designed so that I can shut my brain off and not have to worry about ever using different moves or doing complicated routing. If you have mid-tier RNG, you should be able to finish all gyms in all regions with around 26 minutes remaining on your Riches Charm or Amulet coin, which will transition nicely into attacking on Johto whenever it releases. My guide is more on the late game side of things, so if any of you are interested in learning out how to puzzle solve for initial reruns, please utilize one of the guides in the description below, or watch any of my VODs where I always lead by doing gym reruns in the first 2 hours of stream. A modest or timid Blastoise will run you about 200,000. Make sure it has Water Spout as its an egg move and it can't be added later on. Choice Specs go for around 105,000, and Choice Scarf runs you around 100,000. A 5 IV Jolly Chomp will cost you around 700,000, and this one is pretty viable. Not all IVs have to be perfect, but it's heavily encouraged. 2 Wide Lens, with one being for Aerodactyl, will run you around 28,000. A decent Torkoal will run you about 200,000, and a Heat Rock is borderline free. A modest 31 Special, 31 Speed Typhlosion with Eruption will cost you around 250,000. Just make sure it has Eruption before you buy, as it's also an egg move. A 31 Attack and 31 Speed Aerodactyl will cost you around 200,000, although it's heavily encouraged that you get a very good one. A conservative estimate is that the team is going to cost you 2,138,000 if you aren't getting good deals. Our first of 2 Riches Charms begins in Sunyshore. The only issue you can encounter is if you get unlucky and it's a Lantern Pelipper lead. What you'll do in that case is use Earthquake onto your own Blastoise and continue using Water Spout Rock Slide. Lantern always has Water Absorb and you will lose an extra turn, and may have to heal up afterwards. Funny enough, the worst case scenario equates to your average Cottony Detonate user. Majority of the time it's an easy first cycle without the need to heal. Veilstone is easy, just send out your Chomp or Aerodactyl with a Typhlosion and use Eruption Rock Slide. With Hearthstone, stay in and do the same thing, Eruption Rock Slide. Only thing that can mess you up a bit is Cursed Body, but there's no getting around that even traditionally. Make sure Rock Slide and Eruption are PP max prior to doing these runs to limit the times you need to heal up. Eternicity is, you guessed it, Eruption Rock Slide, but this time with your other Typhlosion. There is an easy trick for Ouroboros. You always lead a healthy Garchomp and Aerodactyl together. If there is no Excadrill, use Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Sweep. If there is an Excadrill, have your Chomp use Rock Slide, switch to Torkoal on your Aerodactyl's turn, and then have your Chomp use Earthquake the following turn, and go back into Aerodactyl. An extra turn difference if bad RNG, and still an easy sweep. Conclave is pretty easy as well. You lead the same and do the same trick if you see an Excadrill later on. I like to keep Chomp healthy so it can take a few of Arrow's Earthquakes if I see a Steelix or Metagross. The only issue you can encounter is the rare water lead, and all you do for that is again switch into Torkoal to get rid of the rain and use Earthquake on your own turtle. They will target the spot Arrow is as long as Chomp is healthy, and Arrow will just come back in with no rain and it's an easy sweep. For Snowpoint City, try to be healthy going into this fight. All you need to do is Unga Bunga Rock Slide and Eruption. Sometimes you'll get Flash Fire Heatran and you'll need to pop its air balloon, but all you need to do there is EQ your own Typhlosion and come in with Blastoise for the kill and Unga Bunga Water Spout Rock Slide some more. Heal prior to your Pastoria fight. All you're going to do is detonate and EQ your own turtle. If you get the rare Heavy Ball Pelipper lead and rain is still up, use Sunny Day and Rock Slide instead. Once Chomp or Fire Turtle dies, you're gonna Unga Bunga double Eruption the rest of the team. When you leave the water chim, go straight to the boat, and then go to Unova. Rock Slide and Eruption the bugs prior to healing by hanging left at the dock for an easy low effort sweep. Again, make sure to PP Max, Rock Slide, and Eruption. For Mistralodon, you're just going to use Water Spout and Rock Slide. There's a lot of variation for Morimoto in Castelia City, but Garchomp does have the ability to get through all of the mons himself depending on the RNG. Sometimes Machoke has Ice Punch, and other times it has Drain Punch, so I find it best to take the chance and Earthquake when I see it. Dugtrio outspeeds Typhlosions, and often Morimoto is sporting a Flash Fire Flareon, so don't bother trying to sweep with your Typhlosion unless things go horribly wrong. If you see Vaporeon, switch and detonate with Torkoal, and kill with Typhlosion's Eruption. Vaporeon always knows and uses Ice Beam against you, and Crunch will show its importance when you see an Executor. Rock Slide is best for Shuckle, and always use Dual Chop to get through Gengar's Focus Sash. Experience will help you the most against Morimoto. He's very easy when you get used to him. Stralodon City has the 3 easiest gym leaders period. There is no variation. Simply use Garchomp, Torkoal, and detonate into your Typhlosions for the water guy. Lead double Typhlosions and kill everything in one cycle for the grass guy, and Rock Slide, Water Spout the fire guy. Nacree City is Garchomp detonation into Typhlosions. Driftville is the hardest/easiest gym. If you lead Blastoise and Typhlosion and there's no Seismic Toad, you first cycle sweep. If you get unlucky and there's a Seismic Toad, you stand to lose a couple turns. If you're having trouble, feel free to use Garchomp, Torkoal detonation lead. Oblucid City is a detonate into Typhlosion's gym. Icarus is Rock Slide and Eruption. Nimbasa City is one cycle as long as you don't get Melodic. If you get Melodic, you'll lose a turn. Eruption and Water Spout. For Undella, if you have 3 minutes plus, challenge Cynthia and lead with Chomp. If you don't, that's fine. Take the 2 rich trainers in the back. Cynthia is always a risk and is never easy. Moss Deep City is one of the most inconsistent gyms. There's so many variables to account for in this gym, and I lead Typhlosion Garchomp, but I've had a couple instances of it wasting 3 turns, so I choose to Torkoal detonate. If you want to take the 50-50, you absolutely can lead Chomp Typhlosion. I just choose not to. Fortree City is the only other gym in Hoenn that can give you trouble, minus Roxanne's Credilli. Blastoise Garchomp is almost all you'll need, but Intimidate Gyarados may cost you an extra turn. Have Aerodactyl healthy just in case, and send it as a replacement if they kill Chomp. Dewford Town is easily cleared with 2 Typhlosions, no problem. Final Gambit may be used on one of your Typhlosions, but just send out anything else that can do a little bit of damage after it and it's an easy sweep. Setopolis City is a simple detonate and Typhlosion clear. Kingdra dying to double Typhlosions is a damage roll if they're both modest and perfect, so you can lose an extra turn if it survives. As long as you don't get intimidated, Ravalige is a guaranteed 1 cycle. If you get intimidated, you will lose a turn, and always remember Rotom Heat has Levitate, so go double Rock Slide in that situation. I've never had issues with Mavile. Rock Slide Earthquake for your dreams to come true. If you see a Rotom wash, just use double Rock Slide that turn. Rustboro is easy as well, and you should have been able to do the last 3 without needing to heal. As stated, Earthquake Rock Slide will be the key to success here, and as long as you don't see a Cradali, it's an easy 1 cycle. I choose to detonate on Dad, but double Typhlosion lead is also low risk. Sometimes a Rock Slide will go off before you can attack, so I choose to detonate to prevent that from happening. Once you beat up your Dad, teleport back to Slateport to heal, and travel to Kanto. You're going to surf across the bridge, avoiding the need to use Cut, and go straight to Lieutenant Surge. Vermilion City is a joke just like in Hoenn. Simply Earthquake, Rock Slide, and be mindful of Pokemon with Flying and Levitate. Rock Slide Earthquake will kill most things here. Fuchsia City is really easy as well. Lead Aerodactyl or Garchomp and have them use Rock Slide with a Typhlosion's Eruption. On the rare occasion that Torkoal is sent out after the eject button activates, just switch back into Typhlosion. The Sun will cause Eruption to kill in that scenario. Pewter City is easy, just make sure to double Earthquake when you see Relicanth or Steelix, and it's an easy 1 cycle. Cerulean City is easy, just detonate and double Typhlosion. Sometimes you see Kingdra, but this one tends to die a lot more. Fighting Blaine can be annoying to his Tangela, but just switch Blastoise into Typhlosion and have it tank Power Whip. You should be fine after that, but with extremely awful RNG you may need to switch after that due to him also having a Flash Fire Mon. Saffron City can give you trouble when they have Slowbro or a Flash Fire Typhlosion, but all that causes is an extra turn. As always, Rock Slide Eruption to victory. Celadon City is almost always an easy 1 cycle. You can get slept, but that rarely happens, and even when it does, it would have been unavoidable due to Prankster. Easy gym, just unga bunga eruption. All the remaining time will be used beating up rich trainers. When Johto comes out, you should tack on whatever is the most popular route. But for now, this is what will get you the most money. Start by doing Island 5 and beating up the 2 girls. Garchomp will be enough for all rich trainers you need to fight. After beating them up, teleport back to Viridian and you'll be traveling to Sinnoh. Once in Sinnoh, fly to Heartstone City and you will go down until you reach Route 212. There you will beat up the following 4 rich trainers I'm showing on the screen. Up next, fly to Veilstone City and take a straight path down until you reach Route 214, and then kill the gentleman shown on the screen. For the next trainer, you will fly to Salacian Town and go up. This will be a double battle, and Garchomp kills everything even if they have Flash Fire. For our last stray trainer, you will go to Celestic Town and then just go right. Use Defog and take the double battle. Everyone else will be ace trainers in Snowpoint City. Always lead Garchomp and use Dual Chop on every Frostlass or Weavile you see. The only Bronzong with Levitate is the first trainer you encounter. All other Bronzongs you'll be able to use Earthquake on. The Steelix the third ace trainer has will have Sturdy, so try and lead Rock Slide to get the Scumbag Flinch, and avoid the Ice Fang. For the 4th trainer Skarmory, you'll also need to switch out, and into one of your Typhlosions, to avoid the Sturdy Toxic. As long as you properly manage your max PP, Garchomp is able to effortlessly kill everything inside this gym. With average RNG using 100% Riches Charms, I get about 758,112 Pokéyen in a 2-hour period. Remember, when you're first starting out, you're able to disconnect from PokéMMO and look at my guide as you get used to it. This trick can also be used to preserve your Riches Charms as long as you aren't in battle. Just take care because some gyms will reset you to the front if you disconnect while in them. I hope this guide is able to help a lot of you.
Johnny Sins here. Thanks for subscribing to Minish, who's a much better streamer than Scotter the Otter.